Hi, welcome to Recapped Mystery. Today we explain the movie called Endless Love. Beware of spoilers, watch out and take care, and I hope you enjoy the video. The initial scene is a secondary school graduation, class of 2014. Jade Butterfield, a timid yet excellent young lady, is graduating. She will be going to Brown University in the fall. She remains alone later this service, while every other person snickers with companions and takes pictures together. Jade unobtrusively rejoins her older brother while thinking back with regards to her more seasoned sibling, Chris, who died from cancer. David, another understudy graduating, notices her from a good ways and notification how forlorn she appears. He is captivated by her, yet doesn't address her. His closest companion, Mace, prods him about crush on her for a long time, however never addressing her, and he brings up David's ex, Jenny. Jade, her parents, Hugh and Anne, and her older brother Keith stop at an expensive restaurant to eat lunch after the graduation. Her father pulls the car up for valet serve. Jade's father asks her what she would love as a graduation present. Jade asks for a party. She never had the possibility to socialize along with her peers before, because Jade has lived a really sheltered, caged life after the death of her brother. Though her mother thinks it's a beautiful idea, her father thinks it's a bit odd, however agrees nonetheless. Jade goes bent to invite David to her party. A cliquish consumer drives up in his fancy car and treats David and Mace rudely, in order that they grab Jade and go joyriding in his car. As Jade family leaves the restaurant, they observe David entering into a physical quarrel with the snobby client who abused Jade. Once punching the client, David gets discharged on the spot. Jade wears an excellent red dress for her graduation celebration. Her house is brimming with her dad, Hugh's affluent, moderately aged companions. None of her schoolmates have appeared. David shows up. Jade is glad to see him. However, she feels awful that none of her classmates have come. David clarifies that there is another graduation celebration occurring the very evening and that everybody is presumably there. He takes out his telephone, calls the police and submits a phony commotion question about the other party, adequately closing it down. Before long, bunches of classmates start to show up at Jade's home. Everybody beverages, moves and has a great time. Jade and David slip into a wardrobe to kiss similarly as Jade's dad assembles everybody to deliver a discourse. He discusses how glad he is of Jade and endeavors to give a speech, but Jade is mysteriously gone. She timidly lets out the unadulterated truth, firmly followed by David. Her dad is irritated, however proceeds with the toast. He thanks everybody for coming and closes his discourse by requesting that them all leave. David leaves in the wake of saying sorry to Jade's dad. He realizes he's established an awful first connection, yet clarifies that he really focuses on Jade without a doubt. Jade races to her balcony and throws a paper plane right down to David. It says, "Wait till all the lights are off." David waits within the gushing rain until the lights are off. He sneaks back to the house and walks into an area wherever Jade is awaiting him. There an oversized cozy fireplace in the fire and she carrying a beautiful, white negligee. They start to kiss passionately, undress and spend the night together. It's clear that Jade and David are utterly smitten with every other. The next day, Jade spends time together with her father at the hospital. He's a doctor and is grooming her to travel into medical school. He asks her to remain and observe a surgery. However, she tells him that she can't. He's defeated and brought aback by her not following his wishes, since she sometimes does. She meets David close to a lake and kisses him intensely. They discuss a summer medical place she has, which suggests they solely have concerning 10 days left to spend together. David tells her that he doesn't care what proportion time they have, he wants to fancy it to the fullest. A really sweet icon shows them riding bicycles, running through fields and enjoying each other company with reckless abandon. David drops Jade home once their last evening together. She tells him to raise her to stay, rather than going for the internship. He does, and he or she agrees. She goes within and begins to unpack. Once her father asks her why, she tells him she modified her mind concerning the internship. Her father is aware of it as a result of David. He's furious. Succeeding morning, Jade awakes to seek out her entire family packing. Her father has set to require everybody to the lake house. Jade is upset and doesn't need to go, however her father doesn't provide her a choice. Shortly once they reach the lake house, the button rings. It's David. Jade father isn't pleased, but since Keith's girlfriend is there, however, will he not let Jade lover keep too? Later, Jade father apologizes for being rude and unwelcoming to David. As their consumption breakfast, a feminine colleague of Hugh shows up, and looks stunned that Dawn has shown up and excuses herself. That night, Jade, David, Keith and Keith's girlfriend are outside wiggling with fireworks. David goes into the garage to urge some more. He sees Jade father within the garage kissing Dawn. He's disturbed and leaves quickly, ensuring Jade doesn't get into the garage. Successive morning, Jade father takes David go in a ship, and when David confronts him, Hugh denies the indiscretion and threatens David to stay quiet if he is aware of what's sensible for him, and writes a recommendation letter to a colleague at University of Georgia, her alma mater, for David. She sees one thing special in him and thinks he can do nice things. She is very appreciative for the life he has brought back to her daughter. He reads the letter and guarantees to mail it for her. On the thanks to a celebration, Keith confesses to David, Jade and girlfriend, Sabine, how inadequate he continually felt and the way he ne'er been able to please his father. At the party, Jade and David run into Mace, Jenny and different friends who persuade them to sneak into a local zoo. Despite David's hesitation, an addict of mace, Charlie, lets them into the zoo wherever they need a lot of fun taking part in hide-and-seek, staring at different animals and riding the carousel. Jenny sees David and Jade kiss and jealously calls the police to report the break-in. The police arrive and David sends Jade off together with his friend, and he attracts the police to chase him instead. David gets caught and brought to jail. The others, together with Jade, get away. Jade is agitated and asks her father to bail David out. He shows Jade and also the mother a criminal background check he had done on David. It lists an instance of domestic violence that David had with a person his mom was cheating on his daddy with, during which David visited juvenile hall for "Walk in the Woods, wish you a very happy new year." Hugh bails David out of jail, however insults him by talking trash concerning David's family and also the Force incident, agitating David to punch him. He goes home to his family and tells them that David is violent, artful and can't be trusted. Jade goes trying to find David and finds him with Jenny in a cafe. Jealous and mistaken, Jade leaves the restaurant and he after chases her. They're going back and forth with deception till he walks away. She accuses him of not fighting for their relationship. She gets into her car and begins driving away. David runs after her, however she is slammed into by another car. Everyone converges along at the hospital, Jade's parents and brother and David and his father, Harry. Jade's father takes David's father aside and offers him a restraining order for David to remain 50 feet far from Jade. Harry argues that they're solely children and that they simply had an argument. However, Hugh refuses to listen to him and threatens to sue Harry for everything he has if David goes against the restraining order. Once Jade gets out of the hospital, she goes to check David, but his father refuses to let her see him, since it'd be non-legal and obtain him into trouble. Jade leaves for Brown whereas David stays in town. They every attempt to go on with their lives. Months go by. David runs into Jade's mother during a bookshop and asks to own coffee with her. She continuously loved David and his love for Jade. He asks if Jade is coming back home for Christmas and if he will see her. Jade's mother tells him the day she is arriving. David goes to the airport and meets her as she walks out of a terminal. They kiss and admit they love each other. He tells her he has 2 tickets and will take them any place within the world. He asks her if she'll meet him that night and run away with him. She sees into his eyes and agrees. Hugh and Dan get in an exceedingly fight whereas awaiting Jade at the airport. She confronts him that David ne'er got into Uga, which she is aware of. He never mailed her recommendation letter. She believes he ruined David's future, and asks Hugh to appear at the person he becoming. That night, Jade's father picks a fight with Keith for being in Chris's room and playing his records. Jade's father desires to stay at sort of a museum. Keith and his girlfriend leave in anger. Jade's mother follows, to be along with her son. Jade packs her things to depart with David. Unknown to anyone, a candle has fallen over in Chris's room and lit a large fire. Right as Jade and David are leaving, she sees that the home is ablaze and screams for her father's safety. He's within in haste collecting Chris's things, making an attempt to save lots of them. David rushes inside to save lots of Jade's father. He's knocked down and loses consciousness. Jade's father sees him, puts down Chris's belongings and picks up David. They each created out of the burning house. The next scene shows Jade and her mother standing at Chris's grave. It's another few months later, and it is discovered that Jade's parents are separated. Her mother encourages her to be shut along with her father again. Jade lets her father drop her at the airport. David meets her there and that they fly to California, wherever they witness Keith and his girlfriend, Sabine, get married. The film ends with the four of them hanging out on the beach. Jade and David lay next to every different as her voice explains how an exact reasonably love, the intense, once-in-a-lifetime, can't live without you love, is value fighting for. To watch more explanations of these kinds of movies, click on the videos on your screen and don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. Kindly like the video and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching.